Yes, hello and welcome to this video where I will be showing the version 3.0 of Creative Menu, just a quick showcase video of the new features and also the changes that have been made to previous features. So if we start up, the same as before, there's this open menu in the bottom half of your briefcase. As soon as you click this, you will be presented to the resources mode. So this is the mode that was also present before, where you can get any and all blocks, native blocks, items, objects and tools, and any amount that you want. So the only change that the only changes that have been made here are, first of all, as you can see, there's now a very small hover effect where you can see the names of the blocks. This also goes for the custom blocks, so it's now much easier to see what block you are trying to get. The other change is that in items, objects and tools, some of the items, objects and tools have been sorted a bit. So in items you can see that there are dyes, there are minerals, and then there are other. In objects you have furniture, you have torches, and in tools you have stone, copper, iron and other. But other than that, all of it is the same. Everything works the same way as before. You can change the amount that you get. So now I will get 25, as you can see, 25 dirt, 50 sand, and so on. And also the clear inventory button, it has been moved a little. It's a bit more to the left now. Also works the same way. You can say that, yes, I would like to clear my inventory. Alright, so that's all of the old stuff. Now for the new stuff, we have this switch to WorldEdit mode. So far there's only a single mode in this WorldEdit mode, which is the fill mode. There will be covering more modes in the future, such as being able to save and export different builds, and that way you can share them with others and they can also load them using this. But right now we just have the fill mode. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff here. First up we have shape. This is where you can choose what kind of shape you would like to place in the world. There's cube, sphere, cylinder, pyramid and cone. Those are the 5 shapes that are here at the moment. They should make it possible to create pretty much anything. Then you have this fill checkmark and this replace checkbox. And what fill means is that if this is checked, then when you place something, it will fill out the entire area with whatever block you choose over here, fill block. If this is off, then it will only do an outline. So it will not override anything inside of the area that you choose. It will only make this outline of sorts. I'll show you in a bit. What replace means is that you will only replace a certain block. So if you did some selection and you want to only change the stone, then you could choose that in here, and then whatever block you replace it with will only show up at those points. But I will also get back to that with an example. So if we start out with actually trying to do this, we have 2 locations for all of these, as you can see, 2 locations. They differ a little as to what they mean, and you should remember that, because it will show you an outline of what will happen, so it's not that difficult. But anyway, if we start with the cube, we can see there's 2 corners that it wants us to place. So if we start with the first one, we have this pointer that shows up as soon as we click the choose button, and then we just choose the location by pressing trigger. And so that's the first location, the first corner. It also shows up here. Then we have the second one. As soon as you choose the second one, an outline will appear, and this will show you what blocks will be affected. So if we put it down here, then this will be the area that will be changed. And now we can pick some block that we want to fill this area out with. So let us say that we actually just wanted to remove everything. So if we picked wood, and then we can pick click reset, then it will reset back to air. Air is sort of the remove everything, because air is itself a block, and that way it can be placed. And if we use this one, then we click set, and we can see that, okay, 1152 blocks were changed, and we can now see that everything here was removed. We can then also try with some different block. Perhaps we want a big box of dirt, so we can set this here. So now this entire thing is filled with dirt, also on the inside. I can show you. If we get an iron shovel, it's right here, then we can see that on the inside there's also dirt. If, however, now we get to the next part. Of course, the way that you set it, I didn't really say, is by clicking the set button. But now, if we found out that, oh wait, we didn't actually want to do this anyway, we can just undo. And as an example, I can now take off fill, and when we set something now, if I pick this up again, then we can see, oh, it's actually hollow on the inside. So that's what this check mark does. We can also undo and redo. These changed, so that's why they are a little different. And we can also go all the way back to what it was like in the beginning. Okay, that's the fill and the simple way of doing this. You can also enable replace, and as soon as you do this, it will only replace whatever you have down here. So in this case we have air. Maybe we only want to change all air to stone. Now as soon as we do this, we can see that, oh, these weren't changed because we only wanted to change the air. And also go back again. Okay, so that's the overall gist of all of what this does. If we look at some of the different shapes, then sphere is a little different. The first location in this case is the center, so you can see that's the one right there. And then we have outer, which means that you choose some location out on the periphery, and then it will make the circle. So if we use this selection and we put a bunch of air, then you can see that, oh, okay, now there's a big hole. You can also redo this. We can try the next shape, which is a cylinder. This one also has a center and then an outer, but this time the outer also chooses the height of the cylinder. So in this case, if we want it to be this high, this tall, then we can do it like this. We can fill it with wallstone, and we can see that it creates a cylinder. Next up, we have the pyramid. This one has again a center and then an outer. So if we just move the center over here, we have an outer here. Then we can make, you can see the outline of what it will look like. And then we can put, for example, sand. And then the sand will show up like this. And lastly, we have, cone. This one is a bit different because when it comes to selecting the locations, because first we have to select the peak, which is the top point of the cone, and next up we have to select the outer, which will be at the bottom. So this both chooses the height and the radius of the cone. So if we wanted the cone to be like this, then we could put some wood, for example, and then it will look like this, and you will have a cone. We can also always, of course, change the location afterwards. So I'm all the way to up here, and now I have to get out so that I don't get stuck. And then we can set it again, and as you can see, it makes a proper cone. Alright, one last thing that I didn't really say explicitly was what these buttons do. It should be obvious. This one is undo, so it undoes whatever operation you just did, and this one is redo. So those should be quite self-explanatory. And lastly, we have this button, deselect. What this just does is it deselects these locations. So as you can see, the outline disappears and you can now start over pretty much. You can also always just click them again. So I just put this down, but I can just click click it again and put it down again. And in case you want to change the length of this pointer, then it just works the same way as whenever you place blocks. So you have this one. Wait, let me just put down a torch really quick. I already have one there, so I can actually see what I'm doing. So as I was saying, you can choose the length of this beam either by doing it like this. Now you can see it changes, or you can just, in the case of, for example, using an index controller, you can use the touchpad and use that to change the length. Okay, that should be about it. Like I said, these things will come at a later point in future updates. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. So have fun with the mod. I hope to see some very big pyramids and other interesting shapes, and see what you guys can figure out to do. See you!